I was like, am I in a love triangle?
It's almost like getting punched in the gut.
I would rather choose than to be chosen.
Because if I don't choose me, I'm just gonna keep going down this road.
Falling in love with that person's potential.
Nobody ever said it was gonna be a perfect path to get to your person.
But you have that power. What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Gemini Soulcast. I'm your host, Rob.
I'm your host, Sin.
And today we have a super fun episode because part of what we do here is to talk about relationships and dating.
Oh, man.
Oh, here we go again.
Here we go.
So obviously love, dating, relationships, they're big topics in both of our lives.
Mm-hmm.
For today specifically, I want to kind of go over the topic and the concept of to choose or to be chosen. What do you make of this?
Man.
Sin?
I mean, technically we're supposed to choose, right?
Right.
But we lose sight of that.
Yeah.
I feel like we just focus on being chosen all the time.
Yeah. I know I do. I remember I met up with this woman back earlier this year. We went on like one date. I don't even know if I consider it a date. I guess it's a date. Even though it was only one date, there was something that stuck out to me. So she's like a facilitator type. And so she would have all these facilitator types of questions. And one of the questions that she asked me was, would you rather choose or be chosen?
Oh, what'd you say?
At that time, I said I'd rather be chosen because I feel like that means I'm a special one. I've been I'm a chosen one out of everybody in the pack, out of the whole school of fish. I was chosen. I was special. So that was kind of how I thought in terms of responding to that question. But after going through new relationships and, meeting different types of people, I definitely have changed that mindset.
Yeah.
I would rather choose than to be chosen.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so too, because I've been there too, where I'm feeling like I'm not being chosen right now. And it can get you into a space where you're like doubting everything about yourself.
Yes.
You're wondering why you're not being chosen. Like, it really amps up your insecurities.
Yeah, this happens a lot, especially like in breakups, for example, when that person doesn't choose you because sorry, this can't work. And then you might feel it, what's wrong with me?
Yeah, it's the first thing you think.
Mm-hmm.
Why not me?
Right. And my whole thing about that is that sometimes it has nothing to do with you.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's just a compatibility. You're just not compatible with the person. Sometimes it's just not the right timing. Sometimes that person is just not for you.
Yeah. And sometimes that person just realizes I can't be who this person wants me to be right now.
Right.
I'm going through my own stuff. I can't show up.
Yeah. I
can't be that person for you.
Definitely. And it sucks. It stings to feel that you're not chosen in that case. I remember I was in this, I was dating somebody for a little bit, and there was a moment where I was like, am I in a love triangle? And she was saying how she has feelings for me, but she might still have feelings for somebody else.
Yeah.
And that was so... It sucked. I felt worthless. Even though I know I shouldn't feel that way, but in that moment, I was like, damn, why am I not being chosen? How come I've done everything that I thought was right, quote unquote right? I'm just showing up as myself. I'm trying to be a good person, and I'm trying to show up with as much love and care as possible. And yet still, I might not be chosen.
Yeah. I think sometimes we just forget, though. We forget that they're on their own journey as well.
Yeah. It's
not just us. Whoever you're seeing, whoever you're talking to, whatever, we don't always know what's going on in their minds,
right,
or in their lives.
Yeah.
And we just make a bunch of assumptions.
We do. And I think in those moments, the thing that you could choose is that you could choose to lead with love. You could choose compassion. You can choose understanding. Because you're right, Everybody's going through their own paths. Everybody has their own journey. Everybody has their own past history. So instead of judging them for how they think or even the decisions that they're making, the bigger thing to do is to give them grace, because they're on their own healing journey, and to give yourself grace too.
Yeah, you definitely, I was about to say that. You definitely have to give yourself grace. And you have to have a lot of compassion for self as much as you have for them.
Do you ever get those moments in dating and relationships where you beat yourself up, where you feel like, oh, maybe I'm not enough and I got to course correct everything? And like, because that happens to me sometimes. Like, what's with that look?
Because like sometimes there can be a period where you recognize things about yourself, like, and I know I've spoken it on this show about this, you know, on our podcast plenty of times about like fear of abandonment, and I'm thinking about the past of when that would show up for me. And then when things don't start getting better just because I've healed or I'm healing in that aspect, when it comes to that, doesn't mean like my relationship is going to be 100% or it's going to go back to what it was.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then we get stuck in our head thinking, man, if I never had that issue, things would be perfect right now. But that's not even true.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it could also mean that I have healed or I'm healing. I'm in a different space. I have leveled up and my person has not. You know what I mean? But we just like to point fingers at ourselves automatically.
Right. What you mentioned about how you could be healing and the other person might not be, you could be at different levels, right? Yeah. And that kind of brings me up to the second topic of this, which is falling in love with that person's potential.
I feel like I have done that in the past. Yeah, I do feel like, and I remember when I was gonna go through divorce, and a friend of mine asked me, like, do you feel like maybe you fell in love, like you settled? Like you just fell in love for the potential of what you thought this person could do for you, or like how your life was gonna turn out? And that really, like, it's almost like getting punched in the gut. I was like, oh man, did I settle? You know what I'm saying? Because I was in a point in my life thinking like, well, you know, maybe I should just go with this person. And that's not to say that I didn't have love for that person, but I think maybe too, like, I almost thought like this person was like my savior. He was gonna save me. He was gonna take care of me the rest of my life. I was gonna grow old comfortably and whatever else. But as time went on, I realized, like, wait, am I choosing me in this? Because if I don't choose me, I'm just going to keep going down this road until I'm old. And you know what's going to happen? I'm going to turn around regretting things, regretting what, you know, I didn't recognize about me, or I recognized about me and that person wasn't approving of it. And it would have just completely like held me back. Those are the things that could get me to think when it comes to like, man, did I think I may have.
Those are things I sometimes battle with too, is the potential of that person, or even like the idea, the fantasy version of who they are. I think that as you're getting to know somebody, obviously there's infatuation. There could still be care, and there could still be love there, for sure. But then, are you loving them also because of who you think that they could become, or who you think they are? And that's when there's that little bit of that illusion. And sometimes it's like they create it, but a lot of times we are the ones creating it in our own heads.
Yeah.
And we have to, if we put ourselves in that spell, we have to unspell ourselves from that.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do, because that means self-awareness.
Yeah. And then there's, you know, some of us too that I have never been in this position, but I know people that have been in this position where they want it so bad. They want to have a person so bad, or they want to have love so bad that they're trying to make every person that they come across the one. And that is where it's like, no.
Yeah.
You can't. So I've seen that side, and I've seen the one that's like, you know, as they're dating, like, oh, you think this is a red flag? So I could get rid of them now because then that's not my person. And it's like, you're gonna have to, like, as they say, kids, kiss a few toads till you get to the prince. Like,
That's right.
you're gonna have to experience.
Yeah.
So I see both sides, like people trying to make the person the one, and then people trying to find out if that's the one or not. Because if it's not, I'm wasting my time. I got to keep moving. And
Like they're not patient enough.
You're not being present, and that's the whole point of being present.
I feel like I've teetered between both before. Yeah, because I'm at the age right now, like I'm 31.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who are already married, they have kids, or they're starting to have kids, or they are getting engaged. And I see it everywhere. And while I'm continuing to work on myself, there is a part of the back of my head where I'm like, oh, the next person that I have a connection with could be the one for me.
Could be.
It could be. Who knows? But unfortunately, what ends up happening, and that was a lesson that I had to learn in a previous connection that I had, was that then puts a lot of pressure on that person, and that puts a lot of pressure on myself.
Yeah, because you have to remember that age is just a number. It's not a limit.
Yeah.
You have to kind of get out of that, mindset. Not just you, like a lot of us.
Yeah.
That's one thing though that I have not been in that position where like I'm too old, I can't go for this, or I can't do that. Like my soul feels too young, by the way. But but at the same time, it's like I have that mindset. Like, no, if I'm still here, I can do anything.
Yeah.
I still have time.
I feel that too.
But I understand, like, I don't want to like be dismissive too to like the people who feel like, well, I'm 35 and 40, I want to have a baby, and I still haven't met my person and whatever. I mean, I've seen, when it comes down to my girls, my women, I've seen people giving birth at 45, having their child. Maybe you're not going to have 2 or 3 like you wanted. This is so bad just to have one.
Yeah.
To receive that blessing. And maybe that's what was agreed upon before we got here. You know what I'm saying? And that's the one that chose you, because we choose our parents. We choose.
Yeah.
And maybe they're not choosing us right now because we're all over the place trying to make this person the one. And they're like, nope.
When the time is right, when you are ready, when they are ready.
It's like what you said.
The contract.
But like what you said, what's meant for you, it's not going to pass you by.
Right. And that is having trust. That's having trust and faith that everything will work out in your favor. Even the setbacks, even the heartbreaks, the breakups, the bad dates, moments of being alone, questioning your own worth. Like, all of that is part of that journey.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
You have to. Nobody ever said it was going to be a perfect path to get to your person.
No.
Nobody ever said that. That's why, sometimes your person's in front of your face. You don't even know.
Yeah.
You separate.
Yeah.
You're apart 2 or 3 years. Come back around. Boom. It clicks.
You really never know.
Because you don't know what path you're supposed to be on or what they're supposed to be. Like, maybe you're thinking, hey, yeah, this has potential. I see the potential. But then you split up. And instead of thinking like, oh my God, I was blind to that. That wasn't my person. How do you know that you're not, growing apart to come back together in a stronger way, because you still have to experience something, or they have to.
Right.
In order for you to understand each other, in order for you to actually have that love.
That's why I really feel like the universe just works in such interesting ways that we can't even comprehend. But when it does happen, it makes so much sense when it does.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Like, and look, there's even times like you can know someone, happened to me, right? They're gone from your life like 30 years, and then they just come back in, and it's like, what? This is wild. Like, you were in front of my face back then.
Yeah.
What you doing? What are you doing back here?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm back here for this reason. And it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? It's just like mind blowing to me. And it's so many people too that wind up like, yeah, well, they're divorced. Like, I know people that are like my age and like, yeah, well, I'm dating someone I went to high school with. I'm like, yo, I don't understand.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Hey, it can happen.
It
And
can happen.
I think part of that is just being open.
Yeah.
Being open to receive, and I think trusting in the divine timing of things, because you just don't know. I think it's so easy for us to feel like we have control over things like love, such as like, oh, maybe if I just swipe left, swipe right, go on these dating apps, or like, just put myself out there, go to the bar, then I'm gonna find my person. But you really never know when that moment's gonna happen. Your person could be literally right next to you on the train or something like that. You don't know, and maybe they take the same train as you do for 2 years because you guys work at a similar area. And then somehow you guys meet at like a mutual friend's place.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know. But we cannot anticipate that. We cannot feel that we know what's going to happen. And isn't part of the fun not to know?
Yeah, of course. That's part of the fun.
Yeah.
Like, and that's the thing too, when people come like for the readings, the love readings.
Yeah.
Like, why do you feel, I need to know when. Do you think they're going to come in like a year? Is it going to be 6 months? When are they coming? When are they coming?
Yeah.
Yo, how about you breathe?
Yep. I'm not going to lie. I was one of those people. I think I asked you before. I've asked a few other people, oh, hey, like when am I going to meet this person? And people can give any type of arbitrary numbers and whatnot. Like, I might have certain dreams about it too. But at the end of the day, I don't know. And I think we mentioned about this too, is like these are just advice or guidance, but things could change because you have the power of will, and maybe you do something very radical or very different from your normal person self that you would do, and that is a quantum leap in yourself. So then now you're in a different timeline, which means what you're receiving is going to be different from what was even projected to you from that message 6 months ago.
Yeah, but even with spirit, they're not on the same frequency as us.
Right.
They're telling you, oh yeah, you'll have someone by December. Meanwhile, it's like a year from now. Like, time is different on that side than it is here.
Very.
And that's why I always say, like, when people try to, well, can you tell me when? For me, I feel like you can't just go by like, somebody that pinpoints time, because sometimes it doesn't exactly go down that way.
Right.
So yes, of course there's a lot of spiritualists and stuff like that can say, yeah, it's going to happen between this time and this time. And it happens. Like, people have told me, oh, you told me XYZ and it happened. But I always say, like, take it with a grain of salt, because it's very hard to predict time. Because remember, you still have free will. You're still on your journey. You can make a decision that could change everything.
Definitely.
You need to understand that. But falling in love with potential, Lord.
Falling in love with potential is a real thing, and I don't think either of us are the only ones who have fallen in love with potential or the idea of somebody.
No.
Yeah.
And then, I have also witnessed where, people are making excuses for that romantic partner.
Like staying in that relationship?
Like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like knowing, no, but they're coming up with a million reasons as to, no, but this, no, but that. And it's like, even though that person is even verbally saying, like, I don't want XYZ. You know what I'm saying? I don't want this or whatever. Or I can't give you what you're looking for. Or I'm just, I'm going to wait because he says that, but I'm, it's because he's, afraid, or it's because of this, or it's because of that. And it's like, if somebody's verbally saying to you, like, hey, you're great, but I'm not looking for something serious, or I don't.
Or like, you're not my person.
You're not my person.
Yeah.
You got to surrender to that.
Yeah.
You got to just let that go. Let it fly.
Surrendering is so hard to do. But I think once you surrender, that is when I think the magic really begins.
Yeah.
Because you're surrendering to the universe.
And you're choosing you.
Yeah. I had to come to terms with that too. Sometimes I could make excuses with whoever I was with at that time.
Me too. I've done it.
Yeah, we'd be like, oh, well, this person's great at this. Oh, but this connection was amazing because of XYZ. And, they take really good care of me. They're very thoughtful. They're kind. They're smart. They're pretty. Like, whatever those things may be, they could all be true, just as it could be true that, yeah, that person still might not be your person.
Right.
Or you're not meant to go on this journey with them.
Right.
They're not meant to go on this journey with you.
Right.
You have to surrender to that. And sometimes you just have that gut feeling. Sometimes I just had that gut feeling as like, this person's not the one. And it might not be not the one forever, but at this point right here, right now, it's just not going to work.
Yeah.
and you gotta surrender to that.
You kind of you have to detach from it.
Yeah. And if universe, God brings you guys back together, sure, but you can't anticipate any of that.
No, you have to keep living life.
Yeah.
And allow things to happen.
Naturally.
Yeah, and it's not that you're waiting around either, because sometimes, you know, you go one way, they go another, because your upgrade is coming in.
Yeah.
Or maybe there's an upgrade for them, somebody who's better suited for them.
Yeah, you don't know.
We just don't know.
Right. And that's why, like, I do think, hey, but if you do want something, you know, you could pray about it, know what kind of person that you want to be and the kind of person that you want to be with, the type of feeling that you want. But other than that, hey, universe, do your thing. Show me how good it can get.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I guess it comes down to your choice.
To choose or to be chosen.
Exactly. Exactly.
I love how we went full circle back into this.
I feel like when you choose, it's so much easier than waiting around trying to feel chosen. That's when we spiral. We get into our heads and whatever. When we flip over on the flip side and we're like, nah, I'm gonna choose what I want for me.
Yeah. And choosing doesn't always have to be, oh, I'm choosing to be in this relationship or not. Sometimes just like, I'm choosing peace. Sometimes it's not even about I'm choosing person A versus person B. You know, I'm not necessarily choosing that. You could already be with somebody and you still could be like, I'm choosing peace. I'm choosing to set this boundary. I'm choosing to let go of my guard. You know, like every choice that you make is going to either enhance or, you know, deteriorate whatever connection that you have, you know? So, but you have that power to choose.
Yeah. And peace is my everything.
Sames.
I'd rather have peace, like, you know, just be honest. Like, if this ain't it.
Yeah. And I feel like a lot of times our body knows.
Yeah.
Our body, our intuition, our soul kind of knows if this feels at peace or not. Is it bringing me chaos? Is this bringing the best in me? Is it bringing out the best in me? Or is it bringing out the worst in me?
Yeah. And falling in love with that potential, or we're like holding on to the potential.
Oof.
Niggas were holding on to the potential.
When we hold on to someone's potential, but that's not how love should be. Like, love is not about holding on. Love is not gripping onto anything.
Right.
Love is like
holding it loosely.
Yeah, it's almost like you cannot grab water. You can't grip water. And love is like water. If you open up your hands,
you gotta let it flow.
You gotta let it flow. And like if you have your palms up,
yeah,
you could receive the water.
Yeah.
And it'll be right there.
Yeah.
That's love.
Ooh. I remember my my mentor, Justin, psychic medium, when he was like doing a love reading for me like years back. And he was like, you got to hold this relationship very loosely. Like when you hold a little pebble in your hand and you're not squeezing it and you're just letting it rock, like it's moving around in there. Let it do its thing. And I'm just there like, oh. But I never forgot that. When he's like, you're not supposed to, you know, hold it that tight. Just hold it loosely.
Right. We shouldn't feel caged in or suffocated.
No.
In any relationship.
No. Family,
friends, romance, any of that.
No. And we don't have to sit here and convince people to want us either.
No, we should not.
And that's where you got to remember how amazing you are.
That's right.
And you're the one who's fumbling, not me.
Remember, you are enough. You are wonderful just as you are.
You are worthy.
Yes.
And there's nobody else in the world like you. So don't forget that. Nobody can compare to you. There's never going to be another Sin. There could be people that try to be me, but they'll never be me. There'll never be another Rob Chen.
That's right.
And that's your superpower. That's what you have to remember. The people that have fumbled us in the past, you're probably looking for parts of us and other people that you're never going to find because it's right here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That goes back to choosing ourselves. Choosing.
Yeah. So ask yourselves, do you like to choose or you like to be chosen? Let us know in the comments.
That's right. Let us know also what topics you want us to talk about. If you have experienced any of this type of situations or love or connections that we've mentioned in this episode, let us know too. We read all your comments. Please share us your story. Once again, my name is Rob.
My name is Sin.
And this is Gemini Soulcast.